I've genuinely been thinking about this episode all day. I was going to put my review at like 9 this morning after I'd watched the episode, but after watching it, I was just a bit like, how do I feel about this? Like, what's going on? This is the Doctor Who Special 3, the Giggle review. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, write what you think in the comments, because I've been on this all day in my head, and I just need to get some things out. So the best thing I can do is basically talk about what I really liked about the episode. Neil Patrick Harris really nailed the toy maker. He was like wacky, crazy, sinister at the same time. You could clearly see that Neil Patrick Harris loved playing this role. The sort of sinisterness, the quirky enjoyment, his ability to manipulate reality, particularly like when he makes the bullets into rose petals, turns people into balls, dances to Spice Girls, Spice Up Your Life, was like a pure enjoyment for me. Russell T Davies loves putting songs with his bad guys, which I genuinely think in this case really worked. It's helped to emphasize A, Britishness, B, the craziness. It was essentially a film clip with Neil Patrick Harris. We did get emphasizing on the Doctor's loss and the fact that the Doctor never stops, which has been emphasized in the other specials, but particularly here. Neil Patrick Harris really stepped up to the mark. We get to see Kate Lethbridge-Stewart again popping up, saving the world. We get to see her go a little bit crazy because of the signal within the TVs, the Giggle signal. If you haven't watched this episode, I'm going to be talking about spoilers, so go watch it, come back. Seeing Mel again was really, really great. I liked that they talked about her going off with Sablon Glitz. We get a sort of a little brief impact. The only thing I was disappointed with in terms of returning people in Kate and Mel was Mel was there till the very end, and I get that. But Kate just sort of disappears and goes and organises what she needs to organise. And I was like, can someone give Kate a better storyline than I'm in charge of unit? The Brigadier got more in-depth storylines, and that was in the classic series, which they weren't known for their depth. David Tennant plays a really angst-filled Doctor. When he recognises the toy maker, and we get a flash of William Hartnell and Alfred Gough, or Andrew Gough, and colorised, it looked really, really good. It gave a gravity to it. Some of the special effects were still a bit iffy with the sequences. Finally, Catherine Tate seemed to get sort of on the ball with Donna again. It did feel in the last two specials like she wasn't quite working, but she does bring up the fact that he's always running and he never talks about like Mel and stuff like that. And he goes, well, I'm just busy. And then we get the toy maker showing Donna essentially what's happened very briefly with other companions since she left, including references to Amy, Clara, Bill, the Flux. It very much felt like it needed this in order to emphasize that the Doctor's gone through a lot of loss. Donna points out that he's sort of running on embers. There's a big thing on, and I think the only thing that clashes for me with this is that Jodie Whittaker's Doctor didn't show this gravity to it, whereas David Tennant went into it. And David Tennant's Doctor, and I think I said this in my previous reviews, David Tennant's 14th Doctor is much more like the Doctor at the end of his life when he goes a bit crazy. David Tennant gives the performance of his life, and he's really, really great. We get some high stakes. It's fun. There's a sort of social commentary on thinking they're right all the time, which I agree. Like, if you have any issues with any of the trans stuff or the Doctor now being a black man, they're talking to you. Pay attention. David Tennant really nails a lot of this performance, and it's really, really well. Really, really well done. the whole episode really had me, like, especially the first 2/3, I was like, okay, I'm really enjoying this. It's really got the gravity. And then we get to the bi-generation. Now, bi-generation is the Doctor splitting in two instead of regenerating into the next Doctor. Now, Ncuti Gatwa, I've watched the scenes like 2 or 3 times now. Ncuti Gatwa is great as the Doctor, really good. David Tennant, really good. I like the confusion, I like the wackiness, them pulling apart. The issue, it would be much easier to sort of explain the Doctors coming together. My thing is it almost felt in the beginning, with the first time I watched the episode, it almost felt like they were retiring the old Doctor, retiring the old Doctor Who and David Tennant, and we were getting a brand new Doctor who's not that Doctor. And it felt almost like I was sort of getting introduced to a separate character who was going to be the lead of the show now, instead of a continuation of a line. Now, I'm really... I sort of struggle with it because I'm going, I don't understand why they need to do that. I think David Tennant and Ncuti Gatwa acted really, really well. The culmination of the episode was really good. David Tennant, the 10th/14th Doctor getting... talking about how he changed his face to that to come home to Donna so he could sort of move past himself. Ncuti pointing out that he needs to work on getting better and working on himself. He also mentions that I'm okay because you fix yourself, but they're not the same Doctor anymore. I'm a little confused by that. There's an implication that, I don't know. And then they talk about how Ncuti Gatwa is the older Doctor, but Ncuti Gatwa is just as old as David Tennant's Doctor. They're the same age Doctor. I don't quite understand what he was going for. And I watched interviews with Russell, and he talks about how he wanted it to feel like, he wanted the Doctors to sort of interact. Instead of sort of giving a speech off to each other, he wants to do something new where they interact. He wanted those two Doctors to sort of know each other. He likes to think that all the Doctors sort of split off from each other, which I like the idea. I had a lot of trouble with, I had a lot of trouble with the concept of bi-regeneration because it just felt a little bit like we are getting rid of old Doctor and this is your new lead of the show. But funnily enough, it's like, does that mean David Tennant's going to pop up now all the time? Does it mean that any of the Doctors can pop up now all the time? Does it mean that Ncuti Gatwa isn't going to be the primary Doctor? Obviously, with the Whoniverse thing they're trying to set up, it can go anywhere. I just found that really difficult. I thought about it all day. I was trying to work out whether I enjoyed it, whether I don't. And then I saw the trailer for the next for the Christmas special, and I was a bit like, okay, I don't know what's going on. I think as a goodbye to David Tennant and that Doctor in particular, getting him talking about how he always tried to save people but never understood it until he was at home with Donna and he's calling them family. I think that was sweet. It was a nice little thing. But it just, in my head, doesn't really make sense. I'm interested to see where it goes. It's a new thing, and I'm getting older. I don't like new things. But yeah, it was really good. I like the reference to the Master being inside the toy maker's gold tooth and being picked up by the mysterious red-nailed head. Which we know is similar to what happened before. I enjoyed the stories that were being told, and I think, look, overall, I liked it. It was actually story-wise much stronger than the first 2 specials. I think that it had a much more cohesive plot. I think that in general it was better. I think Ncuti Gatwa was a great Doctor, although he wasn't wearing pants. Although, to be fair, why can't I get away with not wearing pants at work, but the Doctor can? It's a it's a really fun episode. It's just new. I don't know how I feel. I suppose I won't know how it feels until I see what they're going to do with it, if they do anything at all. I hope that it doesn't mean that we're going to get David Tennant stories and Ncuti Gatwa stories at the same time, or like, I think David Tennant should be retired as the Doctor. He's come back a lot. He's one of the favourites, but the show needs to move on. It's introduced new things. It can move on now. I think after a day of thinking, I genuinely think I liked this episode. There was a lot of fun in it. It looked really good. The puppet stuff was okay and a little bit, I'm not really creeped out easily, but it was fun. I think Kate just hugging the Doctor was a weird moment because she'd never really done that before. I think I would give this an out of 10, probably a 7. There's things I'm just not sure how they're going to play out. And Russell T Davies has talked about how he wants it to be, he's going to make Doctor Who more magical and less sciencey, which Doctor Who wasn't very sciencey. Doctor Who is very flimsy with its science. So we'll see how it goes. I'll be back to review Doctor Who at Christmas, so make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any thoughts about this, I want to read them. I've been watching and reading stuff all day. I've been Trek Trav. Have a great night, and I'll see you for an Enterprise review later in the week.